I mean, not like I'm complaining looking at your lips.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome all of our viewers. I hope you're all having a absolutely phantasmal Monday here with us. Sorry we've missed you guys the past couple weeks as we've all ran into some crazy life situations that put us slightly behind schedule, but guess what? We're here now and we are ready to kick some butt. You guys know who I am, Molly Mayhem, who plays as the Fire Sorceress Tatiana. Right below me, you'll see Red, who plays as our big baddie Kate. We've got Cheeky Angel, who plays as the most adorable little Leshy called Steffi. And our GM Patrick, who plays as Thwack, who also runs our game session. Yay!
Huzzah!
So, last time on Pathfinder, the glorious ladies went out and kicked butt.
Yeah.
Yes.
You had found the atoll with the sunken temple, gotten in, got the runes necessary to finish off the ritual spell that collapsed the entire atoll in, destroying the portal, maybe destroying the creature, we're unsure, but it's not available for comment. The entire thing collapsed, and you managed to kill off a good number of the cultists that were trying to free it from its imprisonment, as well as the high priestess of the cult, which satisfied the final condition of the vengeance sworn by Vivian and Kate.
Woohoo!
Kate, in the process, went a little wild, and the beast took over. Common sense went out the window, and there was much bloodletting.
Exactly.
Smash, claw, grab, crunch. She did not eat anyone. She was a little too focused for that. So if it lasted much longer, she might have gotten hungry. You never. At the end of the session, as you're sailing away, Tulia's boyfriend actually showed up. She was more than a touch miffed with him for, we could have used your help. But no, big strong man doesn't show up till after everything's done.
Yep.
But she still left with him to go receive a boon from the Underwater King and going to be MIA for a while. The armor he gifted her already allows her to breathe and live underwater. Now, well, she might be hanging out down there and doing fishy things.
Fishy.
But she gifted you the Escape,
Yeah.
her magical ship in a bottle. It's not big. It's reasonably fast compared with other ships. But, it's portable over land when you put it back into its bottle, and very hard to steal. Well, you don't have to leave it sit in port at least.
Yeah.
Definitely saves on dock fees.
That is true.
And you have set sail back to the capital. By the way, the name of the city is Almas, and the country is Andorra. Just realize I never told you these things.
That's true.
It is a country that borders on the Great Inner Sea, which is what you've been sailing on. It's kind of almost like visualize the Mediterranean, and that's where you're at.
Nice.
To the west of you is a country pretty much dedicated to demonic worship. Not so, but they're diabolists. They have their religion and social structure and political structure is aligned with the Lords of Hell.
Cool.
Not the whole hell on earth kind of thing, but more, not a great place to live. country you're in is a fairly small little place, sandwiched in between that and the much more medieval European countries to your east. Um, the island of the Godstone is in the middle of the inner sea, not a place that you've visited yet. But you now have your own little island, which you summoned up an earth elemental to expand just before you left.
Yeah.
So it should be of size sufficient for you to add, a trading post and create a small settlement there.
Yeah.
Just, one of the things you can do is in off time tell me, hey, this is the kinds of things that I would like to have happen at our island. You don't have to take time during game sessions, but you could say, hey, I make arrangements for this down on his luck dwarf to go build a tavern on our island.
I like it.
Okay, so you have succeeded in your quest and are headed back to Almas. Upon arriving at the docks, the dock master comes up and he has some questions for you. Apparently, a semi-known individual of ill repute sailed away with you when the ship left port, and they're looking for a one Tulia. They don't even have a last name, or maybe that is her last name. We're not really sure.
Yeah.
But they're looking for this person, and so they're going to spend a bit of time questioning you about, how do you know her? Is she here?
She's dead.
And Steffi stays 10 toes down like a boss. Doesn't really look. Just is like cute and smiles like, oh, I know what you're talking about. Cocks her head to the side like a little dog.
We lost her in the fight. She might be dead. She may have drowned. Don't know. She's gone.
Steffi's just playing extra dumb. I don't know English. It's like when the maid doesn't want to talk to you at a hotel, so she doesn't speak English.
Oh my gosh.
Got it.
Nothing.
So the only thing you could say is mortales?
What else? Exactly. Literally that, but more just like, what? I do? But just cuteness instead.
So you speak Sylvan at the guy, and he's just okay.
There's nothing.
So
Goes down like a G. I'll say shit.
okay, the dock master knows you, and you know him. You're not friends, but you're acquainted, having worked on these docks for a long period of time. He basically is like, you
I know you speak English.
Yeah. Tell me about what you know about this Tulia person, where she is.
Bro, she's dead. She got lost in the fight.
All right, roll deception. See how well this guy believes you. Also, Cheeky, you roll deception too to find out, to see if he actually believes you don't speak into English.
I don't know, I'm being pretty convincing. Just leave.
Let's just put it, your bonuses to this are not weak.
Yarn.
How does the 10 do?
10.
What do you want?
That's a total of 10.
Yeah.
He's fairly sure there's something you're not being honest about.
Valid.
Steffi also got a grand total of 10.
He knows you're dicking him around. but it's not really not worth the effort.
She's not with us. You can see that she's not with us. So that's all you need to know.
Come around.
All right, but you're not allowed to stay out of court until we have discussed this further.
Well, there's nothing to discuss.
Yeah.
So, you're talking to him on the docks. His back is to your ship. You guys have just walked off. Are you going to also pay the dock fees and leave your ship sitting in port?
No, I would think that's a bad idea.
I think we should just put it into the bottle.
Yeah.
And keep going.
Well, you have the bottle, Kate, so.
How about that?
So, while you're talking to him, you pop the bottle. It's like, okay, we won't sail out. And the ship just into the bottle. He's a little surprised. And and we don't have to pay dock fees.
Yep.
What dock fees?
Yeah, he's a little flabbergasted. Because that was the next part of the conversation. Was going to be, okay, well, while you're impounded here, I'm gonna have to pay this.
Not anymore.
I ain't got no money.
You only said we couldn't sail out. You didn't say we had to stay.
Aha!
All right.
Huh.
He's a little flummoxed and a little irritated.
Good. We're quite flummoxed.
Where do you want to head first? You'll probably need to report to the your contact with the city guard and or the seneschal, because you already have probably have to have a conversation with him after he signs that deed for your island over to you. Finalize shit.
Yeah. The guard man first, because he might give us extra money. I'm gonna grab a hair taxi.
Yeah, I definitely think we should go talk to the guard of the watch and tell him all the things, and then at some point I assume Vivian will be with the party, and when Vivian's with the party we can always go to Callistria's temple as well. But yeah, I think we should start by going to talk to the guard. The leader. Whatever his name was. I don't know, it's been like 8 weeks since we last talked to him. Our time.
Less than that, because you had 1 month to get the curse broken, and you got the curse broken with, about a week left to spare. So, Lieutenant Branson of the City Watch actually a little surprised to see you. You've been gone so long. And he get waved back to his office.
Also, side note, first ponytail and over.
Very cute.
I shaved it. But I continue.
Alright. So Lieutenant Branson waves you into his office. He's a little surprised to see you, given you've been gone so long. But, adventurers are weird. That's another thing. That you characters also know that visiting the Adventurers Guild is something they ought to do after this kind of a major fiasco.
Yeah.
I still am very keen on our current order of operations.
Okay. Well, Lieutenant Branson pulls you in to talk, and last time we spoke, you were still hunting down the priestess of that cult. Tell me, what's better? What has happened for you?
Well, we found the crazy bitch, and we killed her.
We explained the tale of our adventure of the island, and taking down everybody and learning about the temple and taking down the temple. Like the short version, but Yeah, with all the
We
key
definitely brag about our badassery.
Exactly.
We did some dope shit, and now the bitch is dead.
For sure, for sure.
Or is there to say?
That's quite impressive. And as there was a bounty on the cultist, there's clearly a reward due to you, but it's more than I can dole out. You're going to need to see the seneschal, and he'll be the one to determine, I guess, what your rewards are.
Excellent.
The most difficult part is we have no confirmation of what this creature is and was. We only know that they were worshiping it and doing harm to the citizens here. You may want to see if you can find some collaboration so they are rewarded properly.
All right.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks.
All right. He will pay you out the reward that he's authorized to,
Excellent.
which is going to be 150 gold.
Woohoo!
How would you like to go about providing the seneschal with collaboration for your deeds?
Like, how are we going to tell him about what we did, or?
How are you going to prove it so that actually you're not just some bard's tale?
I mean, we have a lot of items, I thought, from this thing.
You did not get much treasure from the Osiris temple.
Yeah, we really didn't bring back anything.
You did a lot of hit and run. And
Yeah.
I just got a message from Winter that she's not actually going to be joining us this evening.
Boomer. I mean, can one of us, like, summon one of our new gods, kind of to be like, yep, they did that?
I
Like-
feel like, well, no, Tulia was the one that got the feather. I feel like somebody probably would have taken something. Like, I feel like Thwack would have been the type that would have taken, like, a souvenir from one of the creatures we killed or something.
Okay?
Nice. Maybe summon the god. We'll send an envoy out and see if the islands are still even there. Oh.
Hold it. The high priest's stuff. Did Tulia keep that to deal with, or did she give it to you guys to take care of?
What stuff was it?
The staff, the holy symbol, and his vestments.
I feel like she might have given away either the staff or the holy symbol.
I think because she was told that they ought to be returned to the Temple of Ra in Osiris. So go across the Mediterranean to Egypt and return the thing.
Oh. Then yeah, she probably would have given it to one of us to handle since she wasn't going to be going with us.
All right, it's holy shit. We'll say it was handed off to Seppi.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, so you have those vestments of the high priest of the temple.
Yes.
Go ahead, Seppi, write those down someplace on your character sheet so don't forget again.
Trying to find my little book of goodies. If not, I'll just put I'll put them on here.
Yeah.
Vestments.
It might probably the best course of action, given you have these holy relics.
Yeah.
If you could find an Osiris temple in the city.
Yeah.
It may not be a large thing, but getting the their local high priest or priest to commune with the gods and confirm some shit.
Yeah.
Bring in the local high priestess of Calistria, who's also involved.
That would work.
Okay. Is it warm in there?
It's so hot. It's hotter than Satan's tank's room.
I'm not sure how hot Satan's taint is, and nor do I want to investigate.
Also, being on SSRIs, it makes heat not your best friend.
Hmm.
So, try to stay cool. So I'm eating popsicle. Should get some water here in a minute. But,
I'm trying to blow cool air your way.
yeah, shoot. I'd love to get an AC unit, but our windows are real funky shaped because it's an old house, so it doesn't really fit very well.
All right. Where would you like to head next? You want to go talk to the Osirans? Go talk to the Adventurers Guild?
So we already talked to homie.
The
Reward
Seneschal?
You have already talked to the lieutenant of the city guard, and he said, I'm sending a note up the hill to talk to the Seneschal, and you're going to go want to speak to him.
I vote there.
Yeah, so like Seneschal should probably be a good stop.
So he did recommend that you get all your evidence together before talking to the Seneschal.
Yeah.
I mean, we have all the symbols now, and if we go to the Osiran temple first, then we will return them to the Osiran people and have.
The information that Tulia was given that she was supposed to take this to the head temple in Osiris.
Which is Egypt.
So basically, you might talk to the local guy about it, but he's not rank enough to do it,
Okay.
to receive it.
Well, I mean, if we have to wait, then
But he'd be a good resource for giving verification that the will of the gods has been met.
Okay, we can stop by there first.
yeah.
Okay.
That's
So it's a fairly small temple, old, and its design is not too dissimilar to the main temple that you were in. Lots of columns and pillars, and a statue of all 14 of the Osiran gods. With the statue of Ra at the far end.
Okay.
Does look like this might be, their standard design. There's none of the elemental temples that you guys visited present. You are met by a acolyte with a shaved head and white robes as he greets you and asks how he may be of service. The place isn't big. It's, probably the size of modern house. This being in a foreign country, they don't have a big presence here, but enough. And how may I be of service to you?
So, we did this whole thing, and we had to go chase down this crazy lady and murder her because she's crazy. And in the process, we went through all of these different temples that just happen to be very similar to the temples that we are standing in currently. And we assisted them in destroying this monstrosity this crazy lady created, which gave us these items. In the process of acquiring these items, we were also basically given another task of what we should do with these items. But now we need proof that we did the tasks that we so claim that we did. And we were just wondering if you could kind of assist us in backing us up on that aspect, as well as maybe giving us any recommendations of how we can complete the other tasks that we have been giving of returning these items to their rightful owners.
So this acolyte, at first he just looks confused as you talk very, very quickly.
Investigo leader.
Then he finally grasps what you're saying. You've been to the Temple of Confucius?
Yes?
Yep.
Yeah, the one underwater? Yeah.
The one that's currently now gone forever and ever and ever? Yes.
So he's going bug-eyed and doesn't know what to say. Complete loss of composure.
Take us Fiorita.
And he's like, follow me.
Okey-dokey.
At first, when he figures out that this is where you've been, he thinks you're full of shit, by the way. You can read this on his face. It's like, okay, they're spinning some shit. Like, Confucius, yeah, it's a big legend, whatever. And then you pulled out the, holy symbol and so forth, and he goes bug-eyed. And he leads you deeper into the temple. Past the statue of Ra and into the sanctuary in the back.
Seppi turns to the statue and kind of just waves friendly as we go by.
Give me a roll of 100.
100. Let me take through my bag of dice and get out of here. I got a 24.
Nope, nothing happens.
That's okay. Seppi should get her credit.
It was a 2% chance
Oh,
that the Ra was going to turn and gnaw. Because Ra doesn't wave.
Makes sense.
It's not
I wave. I am not a god.
So he leads you back into the sanctuary, and he goes and fetches the priest of the temple. Now, this guy is nowhere near the rank of the high priest that you met, or whose body you found under the waves.
Who we met at a turn of, some might say, in a turn of friends.
Right. But he does come running out, and it's like he's throwing on his robes real quick, because he was not, he was lounging in back having a cigarette when you guys showed up.
I feel that.
Coming out, he sees you and the items in your hands, and just kind of skids to a stop. I had the dream last night of the Temple of Confucius, but I never expected to see these items. How may we be of assistance?
I explained myself again.
To give us our money.
Yeah, so we tell him, I'd say we probably just tell him the story kind of like we did the police chief.
Mm-hmm.
And just be like, we need you just to have like written verification that we're not a bunch of liars.
For what you have done, more reward is owed you by my temple than I can provide. Is there any aid that I can give you right now? I will happily come with you to speak with the seneschal.
Yeah, that'd be great if you could come with us and, back up our story. And then afterwards, if you could just, give us some advice on how we can get these items back to where they belong, that'd be great.
That would make Ra the very happiest as humanly possible, since our goals, I think, are aligned in that way.
Yeah.
As you were tasked with returning these, it would not be appropriate for me to step in and take them, nor can I reward you appropriately. These will need to be transported across the inner sea to a siren, and preferably to the Great Temple. It is a complex, even somewhat larger than the Temple of Confucius that you've seen.
Well, either you could accompany us, or maybe you could send some of your highest standing members to accompany us on this journey.
Yes. Tell me what type of aid you need, and I will do what I can to arrange it. I will be immediately in contact with the Osiris ambassador to let him know that he is going to have more resources, and I believe he even has a galleon in harbor for his own transport.
I mean, that'd be good. Our ship can make the journey. So.
Yeah, I don't know if our ship is able to do that.
It could be challenging for a small ship. If you had good weather, okay, but if you hit another storm.
So it might be better to travel with the ambassador because
I agree.
No one's probably gonna attack us. It's a bigger ship. It'll have be a higher likelihood of getting there.
Plus, then our boat doesn't ever leave the dock. Wink, wink.
You smart girl.
We did it.
All right.
Manipulation.
So he immediately calls together some of the acolytes and quickly scribbles off some messages to 3 or 4 individuals who he sends running.
Well, I appreciate him.
The sun goddess, her he even sends a runner off to her temple, as they have the most prevalent religion here on the northern continent. So, but the Temple of Ra works very well with the sun goddess. They just don't really have quite the stick up their ass.
Yeah, they're just a little chiller about everything.
Yeah. He turns to Vivian and asks if she would like to have a message sent to her temple as well.
Not a bad call. It saves some time, and if they know, send like a message to the Adventurers Guild and something if they need us for any reason.
Yeah.
And that'll be a stop before we get on the guard to assignment.
Right.
So, I think that'd be wise.
So he sends messages off to the various places, and he says that I am sure that they will meet us at the castle for an audience with the seneschal. He orders up a carriage, and you guys are easily transported quickly and in nice condition. The carriage is not bad. It's a little tight for Kate, but
What is it?
Okay, I'll sit on Kate's side. So it'll even out. You have plenty of space. I don't need a whole lot of space. Like putting the smallest person in the middle seat of the car.
Yeah.
So he asks a lot of questions. Apparently, of the Osiris faith, he specifically worships Ma'at. Ma'at is the god of justice, and you guys did visit, but only very briefly, Ma'at's temple.
Yeah.
But he's got endless questions, and even in the carriage, he's got a scribe with him who's furiously taking down notes about everything you say about him.
Stephanie would definitely be fully into it, like, and like telling the tale of our heroics, and like describing the people and just very eager and happy to answer questions.
Every once in a while, Kate's just kind of like, make sure you write that down.
Yeah.
Write that down. Always important. Make sure.
So you arrive at the gates of the castle, and the castle is both home to the king, as well as the administrative center of the entire kingdom, as well as the city. The guards at first aren't clear exactly why you're here, what you're there to do, and a small temple priest of the a foreign temple priest, he hasn't got enough pull at the castle to get you in for an immediate audience. But then behind him pulls up the carriage of the Osiran ambassador, and behind that is our carriages from the Sun Goddess's temple and Temple of Callistria.
You got an entourage, dang.
Uh-huh. And so, this is a major feat that you guys have accomplished.
Yeah.
Has he got time for us now?
Pretty much. It's like, well, you better let us through so you can get to them.
Yo.
And so, the low-level guard that's at the gate, he's a little flummoxed as well, and he's not quite sure to do. His captain comes up, "Let him in, you fool! Don't you see the line we're getting? Somebody send a runner to the Seneschal."
We're gonna have a big one.
So, you get through, and then in short order, there's a bunch of carriages parked in the inner courtyard of the castle, and the Osiran ambassador steps out. He is a very tall, thin man. I'm not entirely sure that he's human. Similar to his head is shaved, but he has a knot on the side of his head, a ponytail coming off the side. Very fine robes. Apparently, he was actually dressed for the day, where the priest, was not. You've already met the high priestess of the Temple of the Sun Goddess.
Yeah.
I believe you guys had a conference after the first time when you captured Kate when she was in monster form. Right. So,
Rawr.
and then the high priest of the Temple of Callistria. Oh, there's a priestess. The high temple priestess of the high Callistria's temple. So, seriously notable personages within the city.
Like
Indeed.
whoever we are very noticeable. Very
Right.
So, with this, you are all escorted into a conference room, and the butler in charge very politely says, "If you will give us a moment for the seneschal to arrive for this unexpected visit, he will be with you as promptly as possible." He's being very polite, but still hedging his bets of, he's a busy man. I know this is important, but
so is everything we do.
right.
Whatever, we'll wait.
Mm-hmm.
So while you're waiting, you get an opportunity to meet the ambassador. He introduces himself, and the titles he uses aren't familiar, but he does express that he is the king of not king, excuse me. He is a cousin of the current pharaoh.
Oh.
So that is how he attained it, probably how he got his ambassadorial position.
Interesting.
And he is quite impressed that you managed to find the temple, because apparently it's been kind of lost.
Well, when you're sticking around in the sea for a while, you find a lot of cool stuff.
It was more legend than anything else. And he brought cartographers with him for you to describe where exactly this was. And in looking at the maps they have, yes, the atoll is shown, but nobody knows that cursed atoll over there. They just thought it was, another useless couple of islands.
Thornbrand Cursed Islands.
Right. They didn't realize that the temple was sunken in the middle of that atoll. So
A couple thousand years since anyone's been there.
exactly, and there's been wars and cataclysms in between that. So they're making notes and conferring and speaking their own native tongue to come to understanding of this is where it is, and making all the notes. So this is part of their history that they are very interested in documenting, even though it's not possible to reclaim.
Yeah, it was like Seppi would tug the ambassador's pants. Just kind of motion him down and be like, maybe keep this a secret so no one tries to bring the monster back. Maybe don't make this information super hella public. Not like that. Seppi would. Yeah. The monster's down there, but it's just sunk in. You can actually feel it.
When you say that the priest, he reports that in the dream given to me by Ma'at last night, it is true that the creature has not been killed, but it has been banished. That which held it here on this plane was its wards were destroyed, holding it here, and in order to not be crushed and destroyed, it fled back from whence it came and cannot return.
If he kind of just breathes out a sigh of relief and nods, like visibly more comfortable. Because I'm like, I don't know what happened to that thing. All I know is it is down there and I am up here. It's not a present issue.
So you do know that it's not readily available to screw with you.
Well,
So the high priestess of the Temple of Callistria is also very pleased with
10 out of 10.
Vivian and Kate for not only getting the vengeance for what they've done, but the guile used to help to destroy the creature and the trickery involved. You didn't just try to go for a straight up fight, which you could never win.
Yeah.
Instead, drop a building bomb.
Mm-hmm. And it
Or
got
in this case, drop an island bomb.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's what we do.
The priestess of the sun god, she is pleased in her own way that you guys got rid of a demon creature and this is good and righteous and etc. But the fact that none of you are her followers and they can't take the acclaim themselves, she can only just say you did a good thing.
Yep.
but they're present, and eventually this conversation continues. The head, also the head of the Adventurers Guild, is present as well for all of this. And all of them have brought, scribes. They're taking notes and keeping track of what's going on. The
Maybe describes as she walks back through.
one of the things you can tell is one of the entourage from the Sun God's Temple is a soothsayer, brought there to verify all of the details of what you're saying. And the magic they're using is simply to check and see if everything that you're saying is accurate to your knowledge.
Yeah. Okay.
So every now and then, minor embellishments, some that have come out. There, it's like, well, it wasn't quite that many skeletons that we had to fight. But other than that, they're all nodding and comparing notes and writing this down.
By and large, it is correct. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Finally, the seneschal arrives, and the highest-ranking individual in the room would be the Osiran ambassador. So he turns to the ambassador. Now, what is this that has gone about happening that it requires royal attention? Because he speaks for the king, it does qualify as royal attention. The ambassador tells your story, and he does it in a fluid, very polished storyteller's fashion. And he speaks of your deeds, your guile, your wisdom, your strength of arms, your very strong arms.
Take my strong hand.
And stresses how this cult that had come from your kingdom was trying to resurrect our demons, but have been solved. This problem has been solved by some people who got railroaded into it.
Basically.
You went looking for who was killing prostitutes. It ended up with
And we found a bigger scandal than we could have ever imagined.
Yep. So, given that and his representation of this, the seneschal turns to the priest of the Sun God Temple, and you verify that these cataclysmic events have taken place. And the high priest, he intones a spell, basically asking for direction and guidance from the sun god. And a divine being enters the room. Not a god, but an angel.
Okay.
And in a lofty voice, I have come to speak on behalf of the gods. I have been sent by Ra, by the god of the sun, and Callistra as well has empowered me to speak on her behalf.
Ooh.
Ask me 3 questions before I depart. Now, this is a high-end spell that has been cast by the high priest of the sun god. So it's not a massive happening, like, a statue talking to you, but it's pretty high-end divine magic.
Steffi just be sitting there and just wide-eyed, like, never seen anything like this before.
So the seneschal collects himself for a moment. Is it true that these individuals here found the temple of Kephusus in the great inner sea? It is correct. They have visited that island, and the location of which they speak is factual. The beast that was centered within this temple, is it as they describe it? What was it?
Have you eaten?
No, ma'am.
Are you hungry?
Not necessarily, but if you're gonna cook soon, I'll probably eat something.
The creature,
I'm just gonna make
Was
chicken and vegetables.
true as they
A little bit of
describe it,
rice.
an
Some
aboleth
rice and veggies for
master,
sure.
one of the
Okay.
ancient
Okay.
old
Thank you.
controllers. And is this creature no more? No, this creature lives on another plane and has been banished there by the actions of these warriors.
Steffi looks a little proud of being called a warrior.
With that, the angelic force fades and creature is gone from the room. The seneschal,
She starts breathing again because she was holding her breath that whole time. She hadn't seen anything like that before. She's like, whoa, I almost just passed out. Okay.
Whoa. I love it though, because they're like, wow, you guys are so cool for defeating a monster. Like, you just summoned an angel? It's just awe-inspiring to people here.
that's probably, an 8th level spell.
What?
So maybe somebody really, really powerful or group thereof might have also been able to do what you did. They didn't do it. You did.
Yep.
The seneschal turns and looks at you. Then the kingdom of Adoran really does owe you another debt of gratitude. You have removed these cultists from our midst and prevented them from bringing back this ancient terror. I must confer with the king, but I will return to you shortly. Yeah. The one thing that hasn't been brought up is Tulia's involvement. She's a known criminal, and you guys haven't mentioned her in specific.
Nope.
Are you going to or not?
Nope.
No, I think it'd just be best to just. She's living her happy life.
Okay.
Look at the ocean.
She gone. She's a mermaid now.
So the head of the Adventurers Guild, in addition to taking all of this down, decides that it's time to reward you with an increase in rank. If I remember correctly, you guys were you had jumped over the copper badges and gone straight to silver, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Well, he reaches into a pouch and lays out on the table a handful of gold adventurers badges. Not very many survived long enough to reach this level of accolade.
We're badass.
Your deeds and exploits will be published, and the people will know your name. What you have accomplished is astounding. You are entitled to all of the services and rewards that the guild can offer.
Woohoo!
It is members like you that bring us to the heights of recognition. Basically, you're saying you guys have just became poster children.
Yay!
Kate's like a humble deckhand, so she's just got like a single tear just like balancing on the waterline. He's just like, what the fuck? I never thought I would be here right now. But she won't let it fall though. She won't let it fall though, because she's a badass.
Oh yeah.
So a single happenstance of your life changed the entire direction.
Yeah.
You were, making ends meet as a manual laborer on the docks. Then some dumb fuck decides to try and kidnap you and perform an unholy ritual on you.
And now
And
You're
then you
fu-
rampage and, kill a few prostitutes. And now you are being lauded as a pillar of adventurer virtue. They're not saying anything about your moral character. They're just simply saying you be badass.
Yeah,
that's what we
boy.
need.
Fast as fuck,
And
boy.
Neil says, with this, there are certain commissions from the guild that we don't even post. They're only available to members of your rank.
Ooh.
And when those come in, those will be brought to you to see
Ooh.
if you are interested.
I like it.
Effie pins her pin on her clothes and then makes herself a little golden flower crown. Looking very satisfied.
Adorable.
No, good match.
So, the door opens and in walk a dozen guards. Hands on weapons, very stern-faced. They fan out from the door and line the walls. And in walks the seneschal. And behind him, a teenage boy.
Oh, no, is this like-
well-dressed teenage boy?
Is this like the
Yes.
Catholic Church?
Yes, he is a very well-dressed teenage boy.
Seffi will bow, and does everyone just kind of bow in veneration?
No.
Seffi
So-
will tuck
so
up
that
the
you
dress and like
know-
look up and just point panishly at you. Force people understand royalty.
Those people are aware that the current king of Adoran is in his teens, and therefore the reason that the seneschal holds large sway in the duties that he holds.
Interesting. Well, I guess if I know it's the king, I do a slight bow, but not a traditional curtsy.
Yeah, just like even just head down.
A head nod.
Yeah, exactly.
Kate doesn't know who this kid is, so she doesn't do shit.
If that's the case,
No.
then if Tatiana actually was about, then I would pull on Kate's pant leg and just panically be pointing while moving my head up and down.
I notice, and then I'm like, oh shit, okay, I'll do
Yeah.
this. too.
All,
You understand that message or not? It's up to you. But
all of the personages in the room stand up from the conference room table on realizing the king has entered, and they all bow. You guys are the last to bow because, no practice in courtly manners.
Yep.
Yeah. Kate is the
Fine.
very last one to bow.
What's going on? Yoink!
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody just kind of goes forward and the crown just kind of goes almost over her eyes and she's just like, not at like a 90, but more like a
Yeah.
here. No,
So,
Yoink.
sorry.
the young man, probably more of a tween than a teen, to be entirely honest, looks you over and with an amount of dignity, orders you to rise. And
Seppi
everyone
just very straight back goes.
so
Flower
everyone
ground
else
half over my
begins, and the king, looking over all of the fine ladies before him, and leave.
and leave.
And leave.
You have done my kingdom great service. And the seneschal has told me of your exploits. It behooves us to reward you properly, so that you may continue to serve our kingdom. You know, it brings much prestige to your guild.
Seppi's face just. Hello.
Hello.
Meow meow.
Meow.
Now I get the Duchess on my TV. Meow, meow, meow.
Meow, meow, meow.
She just transports between televisions.
Within our royal vaults, we have a number of treasures that may be of use to people of your line of work. What may we offer you? So first, so out of character, he's saying, "Hey, what kind of magic shit would you like?"
Is it that Seppi's eyes just widen even more? 'Cause she's like, "Oh my god, decisions!" Oh no.
Well, I could always use, some magical armor like items to boost my armor class.
Okay.
And if you're unable to help me with my items, of course, coin would always assist in allowing me to purchase the items I need.
The kinds of treasures that he's going to have in his vaults are going to be the kinds of things that you can't buy.
Makes sense.
So, appropriate treasures for a fire sorceress, a woman of inordinate strength and fury, I don't know if to call you a young leaf or an old soul.
Seppi just kind of bows again and smiles, less like freaked out and more just like laughingly.
And the priestess of Calistria. Seneschal, please go and pick appropriate items from the vault and bring them back so we may reward them. And appropriate coin to help cover all of their expenses.
Seppi makes a little flower brooch full of seneschals doing that to give to the king.
Aww.
Slightly less freaked out now. It matches whatever he's wearing.
Now, he also acknowledges black.
Oh, yeah!
Yay!
Hi.
And a goblin of loyalty and discernment. Now, addressing the ambassador and others, if you will excuse us, I wish to have a word with these champions. So, the seneschal is left to go peruse the vaults and decide what treasures to get to.
All right.
The royal guard still flanking on the wall, and the adventurers guild the ambassador, the priests, all of them have been dismissed from the room. So it's now the 5 of you and the king, and of course his dozen guards.
Yeah.
There's the questions really at the point.
The young man gestures to the conference table. Won't you be seated?
All right. I sit down.
Yeah. Seppi trying to be slow and graceful. That's kind of.
He remains standing because she doesn't want to break their chairs. But if he insists, she
The
says.
king notes and looks over and says, "Have an appropriate chair brought in, please."
Yep.
So he takes a seat at the head of the table, and within moments, a good stout chair is brought in.
Yes.
There's enough various races about that, they keep the right furniture about, even if it doesn't match the set that they come.
Makes sense.
Awesome. Kate sits.
With the other dignitaries gone, you see the king relax just a touch. Now, I would love to hear about your adventure.
Oh.
The king has gone from most of his royal personage to the young teen who's hearing about a grand adventure and wants to hear the details.
Excellent.
What style of story do you spin? The heroic version? The gory and gritty version?
I'd say heroic.
With some
Heroic,
foreign
like details about the world and what we saw. Like a focus definitely more on like what we did and what we saw. Like geographically speaking.
He will interject and ask questions here and there.
Excellent.
And doppelgangers. You actually had to fight doppelgangers?
Yeah.
Oi.
Are they scaly or slimy?
Kate goes into gruesome detail about them.
So the fact that they're more leathery skinned and kind of gray and rubbery.
Mm-hmm. And what their insides look like.
Every little bit. Kate knows every little bit.
So on the inside, they're kind of slimy. I've seen dead soldiers. I know what entrails look like. That wasn't a good day. But he's fascinated. You can also tell that his royal upbringing has got him trying really hard not to check out the priestess of Callistria's very available assets.
They took me here because she'd be like, "Is he hot?"
He's 12.
Don't do it, Winter.
Is he of legal age for this time frame?
That's true.
Is
No.
the question. Well,
We'll say that 16 is the legal age for marriage and so forth, and for him to fully take on the responsibilities of his throne. He's got a few years to go.
Word. Can't do it, Winter.
So he's very much interested in the stories. Unfortunately, my duty keeps me here at the capital and within my kingdom. Very rarely do I ever get to go out and see the kinds of things that you describe.
Actually, give me 1 second. I think I might have a really cool stuff at this moment. But let me actually check. Ah. So Sephi kind of just looks at him, and then casts illusionary scene. You form an imaginary scene that includes up to 10 discrete creatures or objects of various sizes, all of which must be in the spell's area. These elements
As soon as your hands start waving, the guard's swords come out.
Whoopsies.
stop
You did not communicate what you're doing.
Oh. Well, I'd like kind of look at the king and be like, it's not anything threatening, I promise. I want to show you what we saw.
Tate turns and looks to all of the guards and is just like, put him down.
I would hope anyway.
Yeah. The king turns to the guard that's standing close to the door. Fetch Lord Cayman for me, please. Quickly. The guards, when you stop casting, the guards chill out a little bit. And the guard takes off quickly at a brisk pace, and within 5 minutes returns with a noble right behind him. Lord Cayman, my guest wished to use magic to describe a scene of their recent exploits to me. Please verify the intent and provide the appropriate guidance. Basically, he probably just pulled in a high-end wizard to cover his ass.
Smart king, especially for being 12.
So, Lord Cayman looks at you, and you may proceed with your illusion, I'm assuming?
Sephi nods kind of nervously.
Proceed.
So I kind of, the
you
big...
can see that he has an active spell now in his hands.
Cool. But yeah, a little more nervously, it's a range of 500 feet, like a 30-foot burst, so kind of across the floor, I, like, open up an illusion of us, like, fighting the doppelgangers, and it's mostly just kind of, like, based off memories. So it's little, like, tidbits of the story that we're telling. So, like...
So we're giving vignettes via holodeck to the king.
Exactly.
Okay.
Kind of making the scene move along and showing him, like, the final battle against the cult leader, and, like, the inside of the temple, and different things inside the temple, the high priest, skeleton man.
Like, highlights reel.
Yeah. And I kind of... I might, like... As long... Would I... Tell me if they would know. I might replace, like... Tulia in there with just, like, a very Osiris-looking person. As long as they wouldn't be like, deception, time to murder!
Roll for your deception.
I got, like, a 12.
The king does not recognize the deception, but you can see that Lord Karen does. There's just enough arched eyebrow to know that, yeah, he can see that you're not just playing. There's a little tweaks here and there, and his job is to protect the king, not to, critique your story.
Excellent.
Almost, the story winds down, watching the islands collapse inward as you sail away. Oh, most excellent. I had not thought to do something like this. Lord Karen, contact the Adventurers Guild and see if we can arrange the occasional viewing of some of their more illustrious exploits. I must say that I am quite pleased with your with your stories and humoring me with your attentions.
So it just like
He
breathes out.
says very ironically, knowing that he's,
Okay.
this is a command performance.
Yeah. Zephyr just kind of breathes out a sigh of relief because as long as the guards had like their hands on the swords looking at me and the priest had like the murder spell in his hand, I was just like but didn't die and the king is happy, so I was like, whew.
So he, in addition to the gift the Seneschal is retrieving from the vault, I'm going to give you each a minor boon from my person. You may at any time ask a small favor of me, and I will not state that that I will grant it, but I will give it serious consideration. The kind of thing like pardons and, small keeps and, things like that.
If we ever really need some kind of thing to be a key to a quest or whatever.
Key to a quest, or you guys, you could ask him to send a building crew to your island. So we'll put a general price tag to like 100,000.
No.
Anything he can coin up to for that.
Yeah. Almost $100.
Like, it's not a major noble title, but so the Seneschal returns. And he has a chest of items that he has in front of him. First thing that he opens and pulls out, and he hands it to the king. It is a spherical crystal that has a mild light of its own. Excellent idea. Excellent idea, my lord, he says to himself. And then turning to Seppi. Now, as a Leshy, light is life for you, as you understand. And in some places you will be traversing the dark. This will help. You have heard of some things called a sunstone? They're a rock that can generate light. This, on the other hand, is a true sunstone. It is said that it came from the actual heart of the sun and crashed upon the earth and was shattered and then sculpted into this gem. There are a few of them. It is not fully unique, but it is very rare. The light from this can truly serve as the light of the sun, not just similar to a torch. Depending upon your need, you can call forth the full brilliance of the sun at any time. Either in a wide swath that flood a room with sunlight, up to blinding people and, sun-like fire beams kind of shit.
Nice.
Or, just a dim glow. But it can never be fully dim. It shall never go black.
Zephy just smiles very graciously and kindly and happily about it. I'm kind of just nodding. But I feel what I was doing when I was looking up is kind of what she'd be doing. Looking up at it and be like,
Now, turns to Vivian.
sunball.
For a brief second, you see a little bit of teenage lust flashing across the king's face. Because, you know, he's surrounded by decorum and appropriateness. Probably has never met a prostitute, and sure the hell has never met a priestess of Calistria in clothes like that.
Full regal garb, or in full religious garb.
Right. Religious / see-through garb.
I do.
He offers Vivian a this requiem of Calistria. This requiem made by the high priest of Pharisma, the goddess of the underworld, or the goddess of judgment in the afterlife. Take this and use it to help enhance your powers and the spells granted you by your gods. Now, Kate Longshanks. It has been reported to me that the cultist performed a curse on you that still has some lingering effects on you. This amulet, I am told, will allow you to harness the powers of that curse. And for a limited time, in a limited amount of use, this creature that you have been transformed into will be at your command. Short version, giving you an amulet that allows you to invoke your monster self and retain your own mind.
That's pretty
Once a
badass.
day for five rounds.
Once a day for 5 rounds.
Yep. So for 5 turns, you can and to invoke it is a 1 action move. And so long as you're wearing it, you will not be subject to the curse part of it. You won't accidentally turn. You won't lose your mind and eat your friends.
Push for
Okay.
it.
I put it on immediately.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Now, Thwack, I know your people are not looked on kindly in my country. And so my gifts for you are twofold. First, I give you this simple pin. Holding it out, it has a crown on a fleur-de-lis. Wear this and know that, and anyone who sees it will know that you are esteemed by the crown. That should hopefully help with your race's, the bias held towards your race. And secondly, I offer you this bow. He pulls out a short bow that looks almost doll size. But the king, holding it in his hand, the bow extends and becomes a full short bow. The string on it almost glistens. And when the king pulls the string back, an arrow appears on it.
Ooh.
That's nice.
You will never run out of arrows, and hopefully be able to keep this in your pocket.
Just in case somebody doesn't see that pin.
What was that?
Just in case somebody doesn't see that pin.
Right.
Fuck with me, no.
Also, a few times a day, you can pull forth a more powerful arrow than usual. And lastly, Tatiana,
Yes.
That's blessed.
you have commented that you are a touch too vulnerable
Indeed.
when the creatures come swinging. For you, I offer these. And he pulls out a set of jet black bracers. These bracers will help deflect any sword, any arrow, and even deflect spells.
All right.
So he gives you a set of bracers plus 4.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Once a day, you can use them to rebound an attack aimed at you unerringly at the sender.
Damn.
Wonderful.
Basically,
So-
what's a in a fuck a bitch's world.
Splendid.
But you have, when I go to roll it, you have to say, I'll say somebody's attacking you, you'll have to say, I want to reflect it.
Okay.
And then I determine whether it was going to hit you or not. But if you're going to reflect it, you put your arm in the way.
Yes.
Visualize this very Wonder Woman. You put your bracer in the way, the arrow hits it, and zings right back to the guy who shot it.
Yes. I like.
Excellent.
Sunstone, Curse Medallion, bracers, bow. Do any of you wish to ask one of your boons of me?
Seppi's saving theirs. Seppi's like, this might come in handy sometime. I'm saving mine.
If you do not have need of anything at this moment, please feel free to come, and whenever you have need.
Thank you. You're very gracious.
He slides the chest across to you, and there's a bag in the bottom of the chest.
For
It
us?
looks very coinish.
Lots of money.
Okay. Now, if you will all excuse me, I have other matters to attend to. The king stands. Does everybody else stand up?
Yeah.
Stand and nod.
Okay.
Mm.
You stand. Everybody else stands, and the king leaves, and then his wizard and warriors follow behind. the seneschal gestures you towards the main door that you came in, and escorts you to the foyer of the palace, where the Adventurers Guild commander, as well as the priestess of Callistria, are still waiting. The ambassador, the Osiris ambassador, is also there. The commander of the Adventurers Guild looks you over and is like, you survived the encounter with the king. Not bad. He chuckles. You didn't get yourself arrested or maimed. Not many adventurers can say that for themselves. Vivian was the only one who actually had, the appropriate manners, having grown up among the nobility, even if it's on the low end.
Right.
Makes sense.
So, the ambassador here tells me that your next trip may be to his country.
Seppi nods excitedly.
Do you have other things to attend to before you make arrangements?
I think we should make sure that we have sent someone to our island with seeds to start planting and growing things.
Then, I mean, we can put out feelers to see if anyone would want to move there as, like settlers, since we just got a big old chunk of change. So, like, we have, we have the means to be like, here's some free land, or here's, like, monetary incentive to move there or whatever.
I might be able to help with that, the guild leader said. There are a number of retired adventurers who would be more than happy to settle down, as it were, and do some homesteading on an island.
Excellent.
The Osiris ambassador asked, whereabout is this island? And giving him the nautical terms, it's not too far off the main route on a reasonable trade route from Andoran to Osiris. I could put in some word, and once you are established, let it be known that this is a safe harbor and place for trade.
Yes.
If this is your intentions.
Seppi nods very excitedly.
And the adventurers, I can even get the word passed around to the merchants that a new waypoint is being created there.
Yes.
Always useful when crossing the Great Sea.
So it's more excitedly nodding as time goes on, like, yeah, it's all coming together.
All right.
Tight.
You have the Osiris ambassador also wishes to have you for dinner.
Okay.
And I wish to express the gratitude of my country and my faith. If you would be so kind as to join us for dinner today or tomorrow, whichever you are available. Though the cooks will probably be happier if I give them until tomorrow.
Okay.
Very well, then tomorrow at the embassy, if you would be so kind.
Yeah, let's go get some hookers for tonight. I'm just kidding.
At least you wouldn't say that aloud. It might be what ends up happening, though.
For Vivian.
Where's Seppi?
All right.
Oh, she needs her needs met.
It has been quite a while since Vivian's got to go out boring.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, you guys have anything you want to do with your money and so forth?
I do have a question. Okay, Red's question go first.
I would like to get some brass knuckles.
Brass knuckles are not bad, but they also even have gauntlets with spikes on them.
Woo!
I would like to get some spiked gauntlets, please.
Spiked gauntlets will turn your punches from being non-lethal but highly effective, knock people out, to actually lethal damage.
Did.
Is that what you're looking for? To take
Yeah.
your punches more lethal?
Yes.
Okay. So in addition to your regular armor, you'll have a set of gauntlets that, when you're armored up, they will deliver, in addition to your strength damage, I believe they're a D4 plus your strength. Unless you're looking to get them enchanted as well.
I won't get them enchanted yet. I don't know how to handle that.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I don't know how to handle that.
Basically, you buy them, and then you take them to the Mages Guild, or you go looking for some that are already pre-enchanted, and you decide what you want it to do. Want to deliver more damage, like your axes, they're a +1 weapon. You have them just enchanted to do that, or you have them enchanted for lightning or fire or ice.
Okay.
So it's really what you want to add to it, kind of thing.
Do you want it to be spicy?
Well, I want to get them made for me. I want them to be custom. I want them to match my armor.
Okay.
And then I'll probably get them enchanted after that, so that way I can think on what I want them to do.
Okay.
Please start the process of them being made.
Yeah, exactly.
Given your size, it probably would have to be custom made. You're right.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking too.
And then we'll get.
And then we'll get
Becky, what did you want to do with your patch?
So, is there any way I can take the sun orb and put it inside myself so that I could just cast out the things it can do as spells, and then say I was in a cave and we needed extra light, I would just be like a lamp with vines wrapped around it. And then I wouldn't have to be like, I take out my sunstone. It would just be a part of my personage. Since I'm made of plant matter.
You to do something like that, because you're a physical being with a body.
Yeah.
To do that, it's more possible as a Leshy, but this would be some kind of ritual magic that you would need to get together with some other druids to perform. It's doable, you just got to make all the preparations.
Maybe I'll do that while waiting on Kate's gauntlets. We
Okay.
might party split and I'll go out into the forest.
Okay.
Talk with the plants and find some druids.
The ambassador will have said that they'll properly prepare a trip back across the inner sea will take a week to prepare.
Part.
So it should give you guys time to get together anything you want to arrange as well.
Yeah.
To the west of the capital, about a day's hike, there is a significant old growth forest with a known druid circle.
Excellent. I will go meander to them. I also need to take a bathroom break, so I'll be right back.
All right.
Same.
Well, then let's all take a break and then we'll reconvene momentarily.
Okay. Oh, yay, I'm glad you're enjoying it, friend. Unfortunately, we're not in the middle of battle or anything, but whenever we do our little battle fights, those are pretty entertaining.
Tatiana, is there anything you would like to do with your money? Oh, I should tell you how much money you got.
Yeah, how much money did we get from the Seneschal?
Let me do some math.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, Bobby and Cheeky are good peeps.
What was that?
Somebody in the chat said that they know me through Bobby and Cheeky.
Nice.
Oh. Brown chicken, brown cow. Well, I'll have to do that.
Alright. So inside the bag, in the chest, it's fairly weighty. And you open it up and you see 100 coins.
Fabulous.
Big fuckers. They are what's referred to as trade coins. They're made of platinum and they are worth make sure I get my math right. They are worth, each coin is worth 100 gold. So you
Wow.
have basically 10,000 gold worth of coinage.
Fun.
But they're in, it's like carrying around $1,000 bill.
Yeah.
Who the hell's going to be able to break that?
Right.
You do have the option to deposit your funds with the Adventurers Guild, and you'll be able to access it from any guild location.
That might be the best idea for that then.
It's a good idea.
but so it also won't be on hand.
Yeah.
I mean, all of us individually have quite a bit of both, like buying weapons and food and yada yada yada. We put that in the Adventure Guild where we're like, no, we need something really big, like a town hall for our island or something. Then we know to pull it out of the Adventurers Guild.
Yeah.
So
You buy some property.
the head of the Adventurers Guild takes you to. Now, the Adventurers Guild exists in almost every country. There are some that are not in communication. There are some far distant countries that are not in communication, but those are a long ways away.
Yeah.
Even Osiron, the Adventurers Guild is present there.
Okay.
So he takes you to a clerk, and you are able to open an account and deposit. Each of you, as signatories on the account, is given a ring.
Nice.
It is a magical ring that basically is like a signet ring you can use as a stamp. Basically, you can write checks and seal it with those rings, and then that's basically you write an IOU, seal it, and that's as good as money to most merchants.
I like it.
So it gives you access to your funds, but you also want to keep real good hold of that ring because
Like losing your check.
somebody's stealing your check.
Yeah.
Or in modern day and age, credit stealing your car.
Does my ring fit me? Or do I have to wear it on a chain or a ring?
No, it being a magical ring, it resizes itself as soon as you attempt to put it on the finger.
Nice.
Beautiful. That's what we like.
Oh dear God, I just had a visual involving Kate.
Hello?
Aaron put it like that.
Kate gets into a bar fight. And
Signet
just
ring.
crashed at this place because she's
Yeah.
pretty drunk. The bartender is pissed. And so, but he was complete dick and how to start the fight. He was trying to cheat you. Like, okay, I'll pay for the damages. Hey, what do you think? 20 gold? 20 gold to do it? Says, yeah. So Kate punches him in the face with her signet ring, and now he has basically a 20 gold dent in his forehead.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Amazing.
Yeah, go cash that when you wake up, motherfucker.
Excellent.
Yes,
That would be fun.
very much so.
Excellent.
Okay. You have banked away your money. You, Steffi is headed off to meet up with some druids. Kate is having a set of gauntlets made for herself.
Mm-hmm.
Black is going to spend a little bit of his money to go and visit the Mages Guild. And because he can do a spell, he's going to get himself registered with the Mages Guild.
Nice.
Nice.
All it takes is the ability to cast a single spell. This makes him the absolute bottom tier because he can cast one spell.
Yeah.
But
You can learn and grow. I'm proud of you, Thwack.
Yeah.
Tatiana, do you wish to register yourself with the Mages Guild? You actually would be, much more advanced than that.
Sure, why not?
It'll take a nominal bit of gold, but given your notoriety, it's, we're not even going to bother math.
Okay.
Your responsibilities as a member of the Mages Guild is any new magics that you come across, you are to report them and share that information with the Mages Guild.
Alright.
Defo doable.
Now, you've also been around enough to know that politically, they also hoard power and knowledge. So, while they say that this is this is in the handbook,
More of a guideline than a code.
that's it, more of a guideline.
Gotcha.
Once they've processed
You keep
everything,
the really cool stuff for yourself.
Basically.
once they process everything, you will be assigned a master, somebody who's responsible for teaching you shit, and then you'll see what you get. Having gone with Thwack to do this, you are now registered with the Mages Guild as his journeyman mage,
Yeah.
who is responsible for teaching him.
Nice.
I could do
I
that.
mean, that's how it was anyway. So.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
With Thwack going up a level, he is actually taking a level of sorcerer. He is
Ooh.
investing in, instead of just getting his one random spell, he's now actually going to be able to cast a couple more spells.
Yay, go Thwack.
Flat.
Actually, instead of sorcerer, he's going to take wizard.
Makes sense.
So he does have to do a little bit more of the work than Tatiana has to do, but has a little bit more wide range of spells that he can access.
Yeah.
There you go.
They're all kind of low level, so they're not particularly intense. Tatiana, is there anything that you want to do? Contacts you want to make, people you want to harass, items you want to acquire?
No, not that I can think of. Is there a temple for what was my Atreya, my new deity?
The chief elemental, chief fire elemental,
Yeah.
queen of the fire elementals, I think it was.
Yeah, if there's a temple for them, I'll go to that. And
It's not a big one, because elementals don't get worshipped a whole lot, but they do. But at the royal level, they all do have almost divine power. So, it's more of a small shrine, even smaller than the temple of the Osiran gods here in Alma. But you can still go and visit.
I do that.
Okay. On arriving, there's nobody in the central space, but where there might be a statue or something, there is a large brazier of fire that flickers back and forth between various colors. You got reds and blues and purples and whites. Even occasionally a little bit of black flame spurts in.
Interesting. I go and hang out by there and just do like some silent thank yous and appreciations and things.
You'd real MVPs. We didn't die.
Roll a D100.
$93.
Okay then.
I think that was good.
All right, roll a D20.
Paying attention.
5.
Okay. A small fire imp steps out of the bowl.
Ooh.
It just sits on the edge, almost like it's basking in a hot tub.
Nice.
Ah, the new one. The mistress is pleased with you.
Started with a bang.
Well, I am grateful that I found her and have been so blessed by her.
You helped with the temple and removed that foul creature. For this, she will give you a little gift and ask a task of you.
Okay.
He reaches down into the fire and grabs one of the coals at the center of it, pulls it up and squeezes it, and it comes out as a gemstone.
Ooh.
Okay.
It is purple, and you could see like a flickering tongue of fire inside of it.
Okay. Well, this is beautiful, but what is it?
It's a big bada boom.
Oh.
If you're ever in real trouble, throw it down at your feet, and the fire will engulf you, but it won't touch you or anyone you hold.
Oh.
Nice.
Well, that's lovely. Thank you.
Basically, he just handed you a friendly fireball.
All right.
You can set it off at ground zero, and so long as anyone you're touching does not get impacted.
Neat. That's fun.
So yeah, you get backed into a corner, touch your friends, and bada boom. And the task she has at the temple of Ra, there is another brazier similar like this.
Okay.
Only long ago, it was extinguished.
Well, that's terrible.
Take this vial of fire and relight that eternal flame.
I can absolutely do that.
So he hands you, it's a very small vial, kind of like the healing potion, only inside of it, there is a blue flame flickering back and forth.
All right.
That vial is fairly sturdy, but be really careful with it.
I will.
You drop it some, you could start a forest fire that'll never go out.
Definitely don't want to do that.
Right. So, I don't think they'll argue any when you show up, but, you know, do that and the mistress will be even more pleased with you.
Yeah.
And, you know, anybody you can convert over to, you know, following the cleansing fire, that's always a good thing.
Indeed.
We don't get a whole lot of worshippers out of the mortals. The imp pops off and comes down and sits in front of Vesta and starts giving Vesta a stretch under the chin. Vesta gets a little bigger.
Oh.
Instead of being the size of your average fox, Vesta just now more coyote size.
Nice.
Still fox shaped, but coyote size.
All right.
And I will have to update stats for her.
Yay.
Go Vesta.
Alright. cheeky.
Ta-da.
So, wandering off into the woods, you go to find yourself a druid grove. And in the secret language of druids, you see the signs that point your way. And you are led to a grove. And as you're walking that path, you become quite aware that you're being followed in the woods on either side. You're not sneaking up on them. They saw you coming.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, you know. It's all good. We're all here for good purposes.
So, arriving deep into the woods, you see 3 old druids sitting on some rocks at the center of the grove. The grove is very much their temple.
Mm-hmm.
The trees are almost like the pillars of the temple would be. And standing stones in the middle of this circle. There's one old, very old human wolf. An elf of indeterminate age, as usual,
An elf who's just elfing it up.
pretty much. And the oddest of them all is a gnome. This gnome, well, we're not sure if it's male or female. It is very androgynous, as well as its age is very indeterminate as well. There's an age to its eyes that's deep and unfathomable. But also there's that youth in expression and motion as well.
Wow, hello. We didn't incriminate you two, Leah.
They actually, when they got back to port, they said, "We don't know where she's gone. We think she drowned. She died in the fight."
And then we just spoke Sylvan and refused to speak English. Refused to speak Common like a maiden. Oh, check out.
Nice.
Yeah, so the only thing that Seppi said was, "More towels? More towels?"
What those? And they were just like, okay, kid, whatever.
Ah. Welcome to the Grove, Spirit. How we may be of assistance to you.
So I would show them, first of all, I'd bow, as you would do with the Druid Christian or whatever, and then show them the Sunstone and explain that I want to use it internally to make sure that I never hunger, and that I can kind of have it almost as like a spell that I can carry out all the time.
That will be a significant working. It will take us some time to prepare that. And we will need to ask for the goddess of favor. What is the god's name again?
Nature, I don't 100% remember.
Nature.
To be fair, under deity, I have written on my sheet, nature uwu. So, and have since the beginning.
Amazing.
Goza.
It's getting cooler in here, but the ice pack still helps.
Nice pack always helps.
So Gozra is the god of nature.
Sure, that's sort of nature.
Your leafy emblem, that is their symbol.
So how does that spell?
Gozreh.
That was good. Ooh.
Um, it will take us a little bit of time and a little bit of effort, and we will ask some of the realm's coin to help offset the cost of what we do. But there is a sense about you that the gods are pleased. So they'll hit you up for about 100 gold to help with this.
It's all good.
And over the course of days, they collect specific and unique plants and get preparation for this ritual.
Sephi would maybe try to like kind of follow them around in a non-annoying, invasive way.
Oh, no, you're helping.
Perfect. Sephi wants to learn.
So, in doing so, you learn some rituals for nature-based divination. This basic, you take time and call upon Gozra, you can get answers about natural things beyond what the plants would just be able to tell you themselves.
Does that mean I can increase my nature skill?
Give you an additional rank in rank in your nature skill, and put on your sheet that you know basically just divination ritual.
Shit's happening here. There. I redid it because my other sheet was looking a little raggedy.
Oh yeah, happens after a few levels.
Yeah.
I have to do my new sheet too.
Okay, so goes and then my nature skill.
What rank were you before?
Trained, I think.
You were only trained?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
No,
Yeah. Bump that to expert.
dirty. And then, what do I need to write down for the divination stuff, if anything?
Just put down divinate. I'll just write someplace that you know divination. It's basically a very time-consuming spell that will allow you to ask the deity for guidance, and depending upon how the dice go, what you'll get.
Cool.
All right. Now the gnome, who turns out to be the leader of the bunch, comes up and warns you that by trying to put this magic inside of you, you do run various risks. If this ritual fails, at the very worst, it could kill you.
I mean, there's risks to everything.
It's possible it simply may reject and hurt you a little, or not at all, or it may succeed. You are very well aligned with the magics that you are looking to take into your body, and we believe you have more chance of success than of failure.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm good with those odds.
plants being gathered, phases of the moon being calculated, and some additional druids being called in to cast this, help with the casting this. On the final night of the preparations, they say that at first rays of dawn, we will perform our ritual. When the sun first touches you, we will implant this sunstone into your chest. So, final thing, just say an hour before dawn, they come to you. Is this truly what you wish? You wish to carry forth with this? Even if you die, you will return into nature, but it will not be pleasant. Even in success, there will be pain.
Meditatively nodding or whatever.
There is a low stone altar that has been set up and decorated in the middle of the stone circle. You are guided out onto this thing and asked to place the sunstone above at one end above where your head would be, and then lay yourself out and make your prayers for what is about to happen.
Meetings with the gods.
The druids proceed in, and a low chanting rises and rises from a low thrum, almost as if they're yelling, but still a steady beat that's in tune with the earth around them. The high priest or high druid stands over you and has a knife made of wood itself. Swirls with different colors and beautiful design. And he slowly brings this down into your chest.
Mm-hmm.
There is pain as the leaves and vines that make up you are opened up.
I was trying to meditate through the pain or whatever. As people who
once there's a sufficient opening, he reaches down and picks up the sun orb and presses it into your chest. Now for the dice. Okay. You feel an excruciating pain and you black out.
word.
While you are unconscious, you wake up and you are the only one in the stone circle. There's a wind whistling through the trees, and the sound of the wind slowly coalesces into a voice. Child, why do you wish to take this part of the sun within yourself? Think hard on this answer, for much will be determined by it. There is an eternal presence in that voice.
Basically, I want to be able to help my friends the best I can. I want to give use to the people who love me and who I love.
While that is noble, the people of this world are very transitory. They shall come and they shall go. You and that stone are much older and will last much beyond the people of whom you speak.
And therefore my love will too. And I will still continue to be useful to those I love, even as they come and go, as nature intends it to be.
That's so cute.
It's basically, yeah.
I will grant this, but I will demand of you any place you find the defilement of nature You must cleanse it.
And she just kind of nods and bows. Your will be done.
A branch from one of the trees reaches down as if it was a hand and presses your chest, closing the opening over top of the sunstone. Again, the excruciating, burning pain slings forth through you. And this time, instead of blackness, you are blinded by light and knocked unconscious.
Sweet.
You wake up. Your eyes are closed and you feel the stone beneath you. Feel the wind across your skin, across your leafy goodness.
Shimmer.
Yeah. You feel the wind across your leafy goodness. You hear the rushing of the brook somewhere. You feel very much in tune and at peace with your surroundings. How do you proceed?
I think I'd like very slowly kind of start moving each limb, and then I'd like feel my chest to see if it is for realsies back to normal or not.
In your chest, you can feel the press. It doesn't feel. You can feel the rock inside it, and you know that at will, you can use its powers within the limitations that it has. But if you call upon the rays of the sun, they will emanate through you like a viney lantern. If you use the most extreme powers, like calling down a sunspot kind of thing, it's going to scorch you as well.
Makes sense. All powerful.
Your body, other than that, feels very, very much as it was, except for that lump you could feel in your chest. You are now minorly heavier than you were before. So if you fall from an extreme height, you will take damage instead of just leap on the wind. You're leaf on the wind with a rock tied to it.
Yeah, leaf on the wind with rock.
Yep.
Is there a certain amount of footage? Falling under like 50 feet?
Oh, you probably you'd have to fall 100 feet before you take any mortal damage.
But falling under 100 feet, I don't take damage.
Right. You fall off a 200-foot cliff, it's still good.
Makes sense.
Okay. You have inventory to your body. It's all there.
Excellent. So then I inventory my surroundings. Are the other druids still there?
Huh. You open your eyes and all you see is white.
Am I blind now?
You are temporarily blinded.
Okay.
Oof.
Do I know it's temporary?
Oh, you find out that it's temporary over the course of the next couple of days as
Okay.
you start seeing shapes again.
Excellent.
They assign you a seeing eye. Okay.
A seeing eye critter.
What was the name of the one fae that you created a relationship with? Do you remember?
No, I don't. It's written somewhere, but I don't know where.
If you can't find it, pick appropriate thing and basically write him a character sheet.
Excellent. Gonna put that on here as a note. I'm going to name him Edgar.
Edgar Allan Poe.
And I'm pretty sure, yeah, exactly. I was pretty sure it was a brownie.
Yep, that sounds about right. Okay. When you write up your character sheet, make him 3rd level.
For a second there, I thought that was a can of SpaghettiOs that you were drinking. Because it's the same colors.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh.
Mini boss.
All right.
Okay. So your seeing eye brownie will guide you back to the city. And you do definitely have that more sense of your presence in the natural surroundings. So add to your character sheet nature sense.
Where'd that go?
Under feats or something like that. Just basically in a natural surrounding, you get a plus to your perception.
This one in nature. Boom.
Nice.
Extra good at nature.
All right. Your gauntlets, your spiked gauntlets are made and ready.
That was a journey, so elemental.
They are very fashionably fit well with the army you've got, having gone to the same smith, and well, they've got some decent spikes across the knuckles, both pointing forward and out, so even a back fist is going to get the job done. When you go visit him to check in, he does ask you, what, for fine equipment like this, they really do deserve some kind of an enchantment to go with them. What would serve you, milady? You're spending a lot of coins, so he's giving you name and respect.
Good.
We could have fire magics added to them, or make your punches even more potent.
Could I enchant them with like some sort of poison? So like when I hit, like poison is put into the body. Otherwise, I'll go with fire. Fire's dope.
Poison might be effective, but knowing you, when you pummel something, it's not going to live for very long. And poison.
You have it be like sonic damage or something. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sound wave when you hit him. So like, you punch a motherfucker in the face, right? And then he dies, but then the shockwave makes everyone else fall over behind him.
Yeah, that sonic damage is possible.
I like that. I like that a lot. Let's do that.
I'm gonna check something real quick.
Okay, check something real quick.
We could brainstorm ways to kill people with this cool
Yeah, like I'm really enjoying this. Like, let's break the sound barrier.
Just boom! Shockwave goes out. It falls over. You ocean, you could do water. Something.
Well, cause I don't know, like I'm down with some fire shit. Like I love fire, but at the same time, it's so uncontrollable. Like,
and you've got a fire sorceress.
And we have a fire sorceress.
I do think the sonic boom would be the most fun one.
Yeah.
Boom.
Get them the boom. Get back with the boom, boom, boom line.
Okay. So the smith calls in a artificer to consult on the project, and they work on it, and they give you a couple of options. They could turn these into a +2 set of gauntlets that on a successful hit deals an extra d6 of sonic damage. That's going to be d6 to anyone that you hit, and d6 to anybody who's immediately adjacent.
Okay. I like that.
They also comment that another option is that they could, let's see, they could enchant these for grappling, grabbing hold of and throwing motherfuckers. So you can hit a motherfucker with another motherfucker.
Dope.
I can already do that.
You already have that on your list?
Yeah, like being able to use inanimate objects.
Oh, improvised weapons?
Yeah, improvised weapons, yeah.
So basically what they're talking about is they would take that skill and they would improve it.
Okay.
So that basically you have better grip, better range. You know, you pick up a motherfucker and throw him, and your aim with that motherfucker is better and hits hard. So that's one those are the two choices that they really came up with for you.
I like the sonic boom.
Okay.
Oof. Damn.
You a little sore?
Yeah, I'm trying to like slowly wean off my meds, so I didn't take it at 7 p.m. and it's almost 9, and I just took it like 15 minutes ago, so I'm getting real tight in the chesticles.
Oh man.
It's alright. It feels really tight, and when it feels like as tight as it does, it makes it like difficult to breathe. Like it's even hard for me to cough because you don't realize how much of these muscles you use when you cough or even like blow your nose. And so yeah, it's going through a moment of pain. Plus they also damage your nerves in the process, and so as your nerves are getting back feeling, you get random sharp pains shooting through, which I dealt with my wrist whenever they did my wrist surgery. So it's kind of I know what those pains are because I felt them before, but they're still very fucking uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. Another friend of mine, surgeon, said, "Don't skimp on the meds. Take them. They're there to be used."
Yeah, well, my doctor told me to try to start coming off of them 2 days after surgery.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm still taking them. I'm just trying to not take them as often, and I've been doing good. I think I just went a little too long without taking it. I should have taken it like an hour ago. If I would have taken it an hour ago, I would have been fine.
So long as you're following your doctor's advice.
Yeah. I got my checkup in like 2 days, so that'd be good.
All right. So they're able to complete your thunder gauntlets before it is time to leave.
Thunder thighs.
And then where do I write this down? What do I put this under?
So you're creating. Do you have a weapon listing for? You probably don't have one for spike gauntlets.
Like for melee strikes?
Yep.
So I have a fist. So do I just change the fist to gauntlet?
Yep. Change that to spike gauntlets +2, and then D6 sonic. Now the mage does comment that given this type of enchantment, we can upgrade it with to where when you deal a significant blow, aka a critical hit, it deals an additional sonic damage at further range, at even more range.
Okay. Yeah, I want that. I've got gold to blow.
Okay.
So how do I put that in?
Let's see. Just find a spot on there and just say crit plus 2d6.
You could put it under the traits section or the other section.
Yep.
on the weapons part.
So
Got
what
it.
that's going to do is you punch somebody, you roll for damage, which is what were fists?
It was 1d6.
Plus your strength stuff.
Yeah.
So you have 1d strength plus your 1d6 plus your strength plus 2, and you have also another plus 2 to hit, and a plus d6 of sonic damage to everyone in a so that'll be like a 5-foot block or
Okay.
10 foot, 5 foot each direction.
Okay.
And
Yep.
I'm never opposed to you coming up with creative uses for that.
Okay. I like that.
So you can use them for extra break shit ability. All right. Anything else anybody wants to accomplish before you set out to cross the Great Inner Sea?
No,
Made of sun.
Okay.
I have everything.
Given the path that you've set and the information you've given the ambassador, he is coming with you.
Yeah.
He is also, the course has been plotted to visit your island on the way there.
Yeah. Oh, did we get some seeds?
Yes, you did make the comment you want some seed, and the
A gardener.
We wanted a tavern built too, right?
mhm. The head of the Adventurers Guild was put out the word for who would like to try and start a small trading post out here.
Yeah. Specifically seed for grapes as well, for mead and wines.
Me,
Yeah.
He
Okay.
decided, but wines.
the
Fancy wine.
and the forest warden also said that he would like it if you guys found any other of his people that he'd like some company.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So
Fuck yeah.
Cheeky, that'd probably be your area best to put that out with the druids and see if they find anybody.
Yeah,
Not going to get an immediate response on that, but
I'll put word out to the druids.
they
Post a letter.
does come up with an old salty let's see, what race are we going to make this guy? Say a old halfling and his wife basically come to you and apply for the position of homesteader tavern keeper.
All right.
They recognize it'll be a while till things get going. The deal that they're willing to strike with you is that 50-50 ownership of the tavern and the trading post. You own the land, but they're going to put forth the efforts to build the tavern. And they're going to be the ones working it. So, no, 50-50 is a little actually skewed. We'll say it's 60-40. They get 60% of the profits. You guys get 40% of the profits. That's after, of course, their costs. And those costs are going to be start being accrued in 1 year, because there's going to be a lot of setup.
Yeah,
That sounds reasonable.
yeah, I think that's
You-
fine.
Given that they're going to handle getting the initial workers out there,
Yeah.
and basic materials to get a small tavern built, or you want to throw some money to improve that.
Yeah, I mean, we could throw some money into, like, the building aspect of it.
To acquire the supplies they need.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Supplies and so forth. Get everything started. All right.
Yeah.
So he'll ask you then to contribute 2,000 gold.
All right. So
That might be a worthwhile thing to do a check for.
Now,
two of the
you
trade coins. Wait, no.
depends upon what you've got in your purse versus what you want. If you want to use your bank account.
This might be a good time to use bank accounts for something for all of us.
I agree. So would it be 20 of the trade coins?
Just your bank account minus 200 gold or 2,000 gold. Excuse me.
Okay. Which are we? Did we decide that we wanted to use those like trade coins that we got for our bank as like a group bank?
I think that'd be wise. Use them for like stuff to supplement our island and stuff like that, like bigger real estate.
Be like a business account for the
Yeah.
island.
Basically.
How much did I tell you guys earned?
You said it was 100 trade coins that were worth 100 gold pieces each, so that would be 10,000.
Add a 0 to the end of that.
Okay.
Yeehaw!
So 100,000 gold points.
Yep. So you have a decent bankroll, and that'll allow you to do a lot of building, a lot of improving to your keep. Now, are you guys converting the fort that was there into your tavern, or is this an additional building?
This additional building that might be good to have is like kind of our like house and point of governance.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where we'll live and sleep and store stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
That can't fit at the tavern.
All right.
And in case we also like need to have a space where they can make the wines and cook the foods and stuff like that.
Okay. All right. So, making your arrangements with that. Because you have a business deal, it's best to square it in front of a priestess and get a minor gaze to ensure that people hold up their end of the bargain. Which temple are you going to take it to?
I would assume Callistria.
Most likely. Vivian, being involved in the operation, does oversee the ritual to form the gaze, and it is that he will work to the best of his ability for 2 years and share the profits of that venture honestly with you at the agreed upon rate.
Yes.
Excellent.
He has the autonomy to run his tavern the way he wants, so long as it's fair and just. And you, while you are the landholder and the law of the land, you will treat him fair and justly, and will support and defend him to the best of your ability.
Oi.
Yeah.
Right.
Me?
Given that, you can be fairly sure that there's not going to be much cheating going on here. For a minor geas like this, it would either prevent him from doing it or, severely injure him, like lose an arm kind of shit.
Wouldn't be good.
Right. There's also, part of it is if there's trouble, you will get a sense of that you are required to attend to problems on your island.
Yeah, defend it from invasion and whatever, as a good landholder does.
But so that you can uphold your end of the bargain, there's a magical, cattle prod that'll get your attention. All right. sea. Anything else you want to do before you take off to cross the sea?
I think so.
All right. Then we will call the game session for tonight, and next week we will start with your voyage to Osiren.
Yay!
Awesome.
So excited. Well, thank you guys for tuning in today. I know today may have been a little bit more of a calm session as we were wrapping up all the cool stuff that we did in the last few sessions and figuring out how we were going to maneuver on from here. So now that we got everything in place, sounds like next Monday we're going to be traveling the high seas, and I hope you guys intend to join us for our bumpy ride. So we will catch you guys next Monday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks again for tuning in and hanging out. Bye.
Perfect. Bye.